I picked up a sheet of, this is, I think it's about 10 mil aluminium plate, a solid. The only thing is it's already got a few holes, so second hand of course. Now what I have to do is, I have to, like if we go back to the milling machine there, behind that wheel, remember there was 4 holes there and also that round support. What I'm going to do is probably utilize one of these holes here, I'm not sure yet, and then from there I'll have to mark out the other 3 holes, and that'll be what it bolts onto. Then I have to cut a hole in the center, and then also I have to work out where to cut this actual plate, and then of course there'll be that drive and idler gear down here. Now what I've done here, I've actually got my bandsaw lifted up, modified it, so I'll be cutting the panel straight up across there. Alright, at the moment I've cut the plate out. As you can see, that's probably what, 9 inch by 9 inches anyway, and I've marked out where I think the holes are going at this stage, and these 4 here are actually mounting, and that one there is a hole that'll go through over where the crank handle goes, where the gearing is behind there, where the shaft goes through. And then once I've got that cut out and bolted up, then I can put the wheel back on. After it's bolted up, then I can work out where to put the brace along here, which has got the main drive gear, and then put a chain around there, and then work out roughly where the idler gear or tension gear will go. And then once all that's done, we can bolt it up and get it to go. Anyway, I can't put it inside my vise. I've only got a 6 inch, so I'll have to actually do it on top of the vise. Alright, we've got our plate here, and I've got it marked where I have to drill the holes. Well, I don't know if you can actually see part of that pattern there, but anyway, I've got the pattern marked out roughly where, or approximately where I have to drill the holes. So we'll go ahead. Then what I'll do, I'll change that over, and I'll put the big cutter in it. job and a half. But anyway, we got through it. That's the main thing. Just pull it out, turn him around, and see if it's even going to look like it's going to line up on the bolt holes. So at the moment we have got a plate like that. I'll try and not get too much light on there. So now what we need to do is, once I've got the sprocket on there, then I'll work out where the top of the chain is, then I'll put a plate across there. What we're doing is we're making a template that'll go up, below that will be a gear. That's just my rough little template that'll go on like that, so that'll be like there'll be a bearing put in from underneath, a bearing there, a bearing in the bottom, then the gear will go in between, then the chain will go on top of that. What we're going to do now is I'll turn around and I'll drill that to the tapping size. So I'm going to tap that hole and that hole. This one here, these two will be drilled out to the 3/8 because it's going to be 3/8 Whitworth. And then I'll bolt that back in again. And then I'll find the exact centre between the two sections. Then I'll drill a pilot hole through there. And then what we're going to do is after I've done the pilot hole, then I'm going to cut it out and I'm going to fit this bearing in there, which will be inside, so that'll probably be just under full depth, so it'll have a bottom shoulder to sit on. And then the top of the plate, which is this one, that will have another bearing in the top here, and that'll be embedded about just below the surface, so then I can have the gear, the sprocket drive gear in between, which is, anyway, once that bearing's in there, then I'll work out exactly how far in or up, because I'll have to space that to suit according to where the main sprocket wheel is. And then with the other bearing in there, then that will actually sit down on top of that. So this way it'll be fully going through bearings and not through brass bushes or anything like this, because otherwise then you have to keep oiling it. This way it's always there. Then it'll be protruding about so far, which it'll have the drill bit on there. So I shall change a few things around and get it organised for tapping. That's a really nice snug fit, which is good. Alright, as you can see, I've got the plate here. It's already bolted down and everything else. Now what we're going to do, we're going to just drill a pilot hole through there, which will go through both of them. Then I'll get a larger drill, and then which will go just underneath the OD of that one. And then what we're going to do after that is, then I'll go and get a another tool, and then we'll cut it out properly. same hole, it's exactly the same. Now on the bottom plate, like I said, I'm going to fit that into the bottom, doesn't need much to come out of that. And then this one will be going to the top of it. So then that gear there will be in between your chain drive. Okay, at the moment we're at 24.6 and I think we need about 27 mil or thereabouts. Oh, we need 26 mil. And we're at 24, so I need to take the 1.5, just under 2 mil. Anyway, I'll just see if I adjust this out a fraction. Let's see if these things actually work. You have to make sure that you lock all these screws up. Make sure there's 3 screws here, which are for the slide. When you put your centre in here, if you're going off the centre, make sure you take the other 2 out, because otherwise they're not doing anything. And because if they come loose, they're going to go through you or through something. So you only need to actually do the one tightened up that there is. Unless you've got a crossbar and you're doing a big hole or something like that, then you can use all 3. Check that, make sure I haven't got them too far. No, I'm still within range. And if you can, you always pays to that particular, the cutter, the blade, whatever. If you can have it always towards that, then you can see exactly or approximately how far you've actually come out. Oh, that'll be a nice snug fit there. I can press that in. I'll check this out. So that'll be nice in there. Now, I don't know if I can actually check the depth on it, because it's I can't move it, otherwise I'm going to put it out of alignment. Dear. You can see a really rough way to do it here, so I can't get into it. Oh, that'll be spot on. That's my gauge, the fingernail on the trick, see there? So that will actually sit pretty well flush with that. So what we'll do now is, because we've got this piece to go on top, I'm going to have to bring that in here, like take this plate off, and then put that in. That's the way it fits, so I have to turn upside down and do exactly the same there to there. So I've already got the size that I need. And then that means the bearing will go on both sides. Now also, this is only a 6-inch vise. What I've done, I've taken the jaw off the inside here, and I put it right on the outside of the jaws, so that allows me to get the full 8.5 inches in there. Right, that'll be spot on. There we go. So what we'll do now that we've done that, that will go back the other way. I'll put the bearing in there. I'll have to make a small shaft that'll fit through there, and that'll be just about ready for the main assembly. Right, what I've done here is when I bolted it up, I've found that the heads are sitting a bit too proud. There's these heads here. So what I have to do is recess them slightly. You just want to make sure that's fairly close to being flush. At the moment, still sitting proud, but I don't want to go too deep or else I'll lose the space. At the moment, that is sitting about here. So I'll just go a touch more. Yeah, now they're all round about, well, they appear to be the same. So what I'll do is I'll mount it up, and like that's that part. Then we've got the piece on here, so I'll have to mount that up to work out exactly, like that'll be all right. And then I'm going to have to work out where the actual idler gear or the chain will be going.